myself Santhosh. I do have around 9 years of experience working in IT industry, and currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft. My core experience is towards data science, data engineering, and data analytics project. Currently, I'm managing around 8 projects, and total I have worked with around 80 projects from different domains such as banking, healthcare, insurance, e-commerce, and retail. And I'm a certified trainer taking training for KSR for the last 5 years.
The last class, we were like seeing about the introduction to Python, correct? Like we all know that it's going to be a very high level language. When I say a high level language, it's going to be helpful in terms of understanding, right? By seeing the code itself, you can get to know what it is doing. The only prerequisites to learn Python is if you know English, if you can just follow the rules and regulations, you can write any code. So initially, for the first few days, you have to follow some rules and automatically it becomes a practice for you, correct? So if there is any syntax and all, you just need to follow that. You can never ask me a question why. Again, I have told you any programming language comes with certain protocols, right? Rules and regulations. If you follow that, every coding language is easy. Now, post this introduction, we were like understanding how it is going to be useful for data engineering, right? And the first thing which talked about is community, and then we talked about the easy syntax, and I've given an example how to write a simple hello world, and we were able to do it in both Java and Python. And by this example, we understood that Python is very difficult to write hello world, correct? Yes?
No. No.
Now, maybe it's just a simple line, but let's see going forward. I'll also show you for each and every complex functionality which we do in the future. We'll go and see how difficult it is to write that code in Java and how easy it is to write in Python. Okay. And we talked about the difference. This is something which we have seen in the last class. Now, moving on, the other feature of Python, why people prefer is it's a open source. So when I say open source, anyone can go and get installed on their machine and start working. There is nothing like a license is required. There is nothing like a permission is required. There is nothing like your organization has to give. Nothing. Anyone can go and download and start working with the application without any licensing issues. And that is why it is called open source. Now, you may all be thinking, why only Python we are using for data engineering, and not only for data engineering. If you talk about a data science or a data analytics, Python plays a major role here, right? But I'm also telling you that I can even go and build a game, maybe a Candy Crush game or even a PUBG game in Python. Possibility is there, but we don't focus on that. Correct? I'm not going to build an IRCTC website or ICICI Bank net banking. I'm not going to build. It's possible, but I'm not going to do. Reason? It can do, but not that effective, right? It can do, but it's not that effective. But what is effective? Everyone will have pros and cons. Everyone will have positives and negatives. We are going to focus on Python's positives, where it is going to help us in providing our solution for data engineering pipeline, right? So large community, easy syntax, open source are the top three when it comes to features of Python, why we using for data engineering. And the other one which I want to talk about is, this is one of my favorite feature, I would say. It has very much rich libraries. It has very much rich libraries. Now, what do you mean by this rich libraries? If you want to implement some logic, listen carefully. If you want to implement some logic, what Python says is, boss, we already have this logic. You simply go and use our library. As simple as that. Imagine you want to read a file, you want to do some mathematical calculations and all. If it's a Java, you have to go and write the entire logic. If it's a Python, your Python says that, boss, we already have written all the used functions so far, and we have stored in a library. You simply go and use this library, you will get the answer. That's one feature I really like it, because where we spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of time in logic thinking. That is also automated now. Unless and until you're looking for some customized complex libraries, I mean complex functions, you can go and write. But rest of the things which we usually use it for, all the basic functionalities, don't worry, we already have a library where you can go and do it. For example, Remember this word, okay? I'll be again repeating this after 8 classes. After 8 to 9 classes, I'll be repeating the same thing. So remember this word. To read a file from your local system to your Python, or maybe to your server, if it is a Java, you have to write 46 lines. To read a file, to read an Excel file or to read a CSV file from your local system to your server, if you are writing the code in Java, it will take 46 to 48 lines. And if I use, if I go and write it in Python, right? And especially if I'm using certain libraries, this is a library, and the library name is Pandas. If I go and use this library, you know how many lines I need to write to go and read a file? Any guess? You just need to write 2 lines. Of course, one line will be using this library, and the another line will be reading the file. 2 lines you can achieve it. Now, reading this file may be difficult, but what is happening is they have already have written and they have made sure that the function is available for us. So since the function is available for us, we can directly go and use the function. What function? How to read a file? They already have written. Most of the scenarios, we will be getting a ready-made function. We just need to go and use it. We just need to go and use it. Now, that's what I was saying. It is having a very, very rich libraries. One of the unique difference between Java and Python, if you ask me, like I would say, in Java, every logic you need to write it by your own. Every logic you need to write it by own. But when it comes to Python, we can only use it whenever it is available. We can go and use it. I'm not saying everything is available, because each project will have different challenges, each project will have different scenarios, right? But most of the things you will get it, and that's why it is rich libraries. Okay, now with that features, the opportunity for Python is also the highest among all the other coding language, right? If you know Python, people will give you preference. Data engineering can also be built with Scala. There is another language called Scala. Data engineering with so much of difficulty, you can do it with Java also. But the most preferable language people need is, they need knowledge of Python. And not only this, I'm talking in terms of data engineering, right? You're talking about data engineering. But even if you talk about a Python developer or a web developer, they expect some Python knowledge. When I was talking about SQL, or in the past, I told no one can ever replace SQL. But if you see in this chart, SQL has been moved to the second position. Python is on leading. Did anyone observe? So is it means that SQL is losing its credibility? Then it's not about the usager, it's about the job opportunities only. Okay, don't get confused. The graph doesn't say that Python is on top. The Python is on top in terms of job and the uh, usage of the application. That doesn't mean that one is superior than the other. Always one and two becomes the challenging. Today it could be Python, tomorrow SQL can come first, or even Python can go second, or Python can come first, right? So it's not a debate that we are making here, but if you are communicating within the database, the only language which we can use is SQL. If you want to communicate outside the database, if you want to communicate to a number of tools outside, then you have to know one programming language, and that is nothing but Python, right? So rich libraries, community, easy syntax, it's all making this language more user friendly, and that's why people use it. See, we all want to learn coding, but if the coding is easy, why don't we give a try? Correct. And that makes this technology also very useful when we are implementing the logic. I've told you in the past as well, in my complete experience, I have worked with 4 to 5 programming languages, but nothing is as easy as Python. You may be learning for the first time, but I may be learning, this could be my fourth or fifth programming language, but all in all, this is the easiest one, right? Now, all this is making this as a one of the importance of data engineering. Now, as and then we move forward, we also have something called platform independent. Platform independent. When I say platform independent, you can install in Python in your Windows. You can install in your Mac system. You can even install in your Linux machine or Ubuntu machine, right? So platform independent is you can do wherever you want. You can write code wherever you want. For example, I have developed my code in Windows. I can go and write that the same code in the Mac system, it will work. Or if I've implemented in Mac, if I go and write in any other system, it will work. So platform independent tools are very much necessary because tomorrow I don't need to get into a problem. You have written in Windows machine, it is not working in Mac machine, then what is the purpose of writing, right? So if you are using a language, if you are using a technology, that should work in all the other systems. And that is why it is platform independent. With this platform independent, we can make sure that we can move forward with the Python now. Okay, we all got to know what is the importance when it was introduced and why we are all using this, and we have seen most of the features. Now let's get into the some of the features. This is just I've summarized everything. To start with, to start with, we told it's a very much high level. So readability, easy to learn, free. When I say free, it's like you can download from anywhere. And exception handling is you will get to know like what type of uh, errors you will get it. You can easily manage it. Very much a standard libraries, memory management, cross platform. So when I say cross platform, you can write it in Windows or you can write it in Ubuntu or Mac. All these features is making this language very much useful for us. Now moving on, try to understand this point. Python is a ocean. Python is a ocean, right? In the entire earth, how much percentage of water we have? 75% of water and 25% of land. Do you agree? Now, when I say water, maybe the water could be from rivers, lakes, oceans, right? So I'm assuming that Python is like a ocean. Python is like a ocean, correct? So when I say ocean, so many things you can do. So many things you can do. You can do a web application, enterprise application, gaming application, mobile application. You can build some scientific calculations. You can even go with your designing. You can do some drawing, everything you can do. But again, I'm going to repeat that I'm not going to teach Python entirely. This is not only a Python course. No, if it is only Python course, 6 to 7 months, we teach only Python, but the course duration itself is 4.5 months. So you need to have the expectations from this courses. Whatever we are going to use for data engineering, we are going to learn that. Apart from that, whatever you learn, it's up to your interest. But as part of the course, we'll start with the fundamentals, right? We'll start with the basics. We'll be teaching like an ABCD. But after 1 week, we will get into the deep concept of data engineering. Why Python is useful for data engineering, we will go in that direction. So initially, if you see, right, even in a graduation, you would have seen that we have 4 years of engineering, right? First year, if you see, right, first year, everyone will have a common subjects. After that, depending on the stream, the subjects will change. So similarly, first 1 week, I'm going to generalize it. Anyone can learn. Even if you want to build a web development, yes, first week will be enough. But after 1 week, since you get your hands wet on this technology, since you get that initial practice, now we will change the stream. And we are choosing a stream where we wanted to implement data engineering, right? And I'll be telling every class, I'll be telling, okay, this is basic, this is just a programming language. And just before the start of the class, I'll tell you, now this class, today's class, is what you will be doing in the real time. This type of calculations you'll be doing in the real time. So I'll be giving a heads up for you. And when you are practicing or when you are learning, you need to give some extra, you need to give some extra skills for this on that particular day, what I'm teaching. For that, you need to focus it. Okay. Now, with this application, we are going to use it only for data engineering. Okay, it comes under software development, but again, I'm specifically focusing on Azure Data Engineering. And with that, now what we need, we have seen all of this basic things of Python. The next thing what I need is I need to have a environment. I need to have an environment. Why? I need to go and write the code, right? To write the code, what I need? I need an environment. I cannot go and write Python code in this PPT. I cannot go and write Python code in my notebook. I need an environment. I need a software. For that, we have to go and install a software called Anaconda. What is this? These people are all keeping snake names only. Technology name only, they have kept Python. Now, software name, in order to go and execute this Python, they have kept Anaconda. Now, tell me, what is the difference between Python and Anaconda? Both are snakes only, right? Both are snakes only, right? And what is the difference between Python and Anaconda? Anyone? Anyone who's focused on seeing geography channel and okay, I still did not show interest why they have kept the name as Anaconda. Okay, but my assumption is, as rightly said, Anaconda may be a family or a different species of snakes, and maybe Python is one, right? So which is on top? Anaconda is on top. Anaconda is like a family, right? So it comes first. Then inside that we do have Python as a snake. Now, as the name implies, your software name is now Anaconda. In order to execute your Python code, you need to have a software, and that software is Anaconda. My personal suggestion, without even having this tool installed, you can still go and work with Python. You can simply open an online editor and you can go and practice Python. But personally, I'm asking, please install this software. Only then you will get to know what is the problems that we get in the on-premises. Our main objective in Azure Data Engineering is we are going to learn everything on premises. What is on premises? I'm going to install specifically in my laptop, in my computer, in my server. I'm going to learn that. Then in the later part of the course, coming to the climax of the course, we are going to do everything in the cloud. So in order to understand the difference between your land and cloud, right, in your on-prem and cloud, you need to use both. If I simply say that no, on-premise is having a problem, let's go and do it in the cloud, then at any point you will never ever get to know why we moved from on-premises to cloud. There are a lot of challenges that we add in the on-premises. When I say on-premises, you are installing in your machine, you are installing in your server, and that is why we are getting a lot of problems. So personally, I'm requesting, though there are n number of ways to work with Python, we have such a beautiful online editors. You simply go and search online Python online editor, you will get n number of editors. But I'm asking you to install this. If you install this, if you start working on it, then you will get, okay, these are the challenges we got. And that is why in future, we are going to write in everything in our cloud. Remember this word, remember this word. Again, this again comes in the towards a business end of the course. Remember this word, data bricks. Remember this word, data bricks. Now this data bricks is again a platform where you can go and write a Python code directly in the cloud. But today I'm not going to teach that. Why? It's a cloud. But I want you to experience first the on premises. I want you to get struggled in this on premises. I want you to first face the challenge here. Only then you will get interest for the cloud. If I simply go to cloud, who will go and use this, right? If you want to see the the other side of the technology, first you need to learn what struggle we had. So personally, I'm requesting everyone install Anaconda software unless and until your system is i3. If it is i3, I don't recommend. But anything i5 and above, please go and install, because we have to have an environment to write our Python code. So let's move on. Let's see the installation. So it says that Anaconda is an environment and it's a collection of many open sources, and it is built. It has built-in libraries, and you can install anything. Everything is there. Fine, right? Now let's go and install. Initially, it was a bit challenge. Whenever we wanted to install Python, it was a very huge step. I have to go here and I have to do some things, and I have to go and check if the Python is installed. Then I have to go and download Python. Then after that, I need to download some specific one, and this is a Python a download. Then I have to download the latest versions, and I have to set up some environmental path. Oof, lot of challenge we had. Okay, lot of challenge we had. But so this is actually an installation process, and then I have to, after installation steps, I have to go and see this. I have to do all this. It was a big challenge, but Anaconda has made our work easy, right? If you install Anaconda, automatically everything will be installed. You need not worry. Couple of years back, if you want to have a Python, there was an installation process was different. Now, since everyone is using, it is also in demand. So they made everything into a one structured download. If you go and install Anaconda, then everything is done. You need not do anything. You need not do anything. And I'll show you how to install Anaconda. You tell me whether it's tough or not. Okay. First thing is you need to go and search Anaconda download in your Google. Okay. So once you go and search the Anaconda download, you have to click the first link, Anaconda distribution. Just click the first link. The moment you click the first link, this is what it will open. Okay. In the products, directly you can see that Anaconda distribution you can download for Windows. If you want to get for Mac, or if you want to get for Ubuntu, you can click this. But directly it is available here. Just go and click it. The moment you click it, it has a built-in Python version 3.9. So it will get downloaded here. Okay, I click this download. Thank you for downloading. It's getting downloaded here. So Anaconda 3, basically the latest version, and 594 MB file is there. So it's getting download. Once it is getting download, I'll simply create a software, and inside that I will go and copy this. Once I copy this, I'll simply go and double click. A prompt will come. Next, I agree. Just me, because you're the only person who's going to use your system. Next. Already it will show you path where it is going to install. It requires around 3.5 GB of space. So C drive, users, admin, Anaconda. Next. Register Anaconda as my default Python. Next. Install. Next. It will all install. These are all the libraries which we have within the Anaconda. I'll wait until this green bar completes. And after that, it's completed. Go and click next. Completing Anaconda setup. Finish. Welcome to Anaconda. Easy or difficult? At any point of time, you will never get stuck. Such a easy, straightforward installation. But what I'm saying is you need not even do that. Directly, you can go also use your online editor. But first time you are learning, let's respect the tool. We will download it. We will practice whenever we want. If you are using online editor, internet is must. But if you are using in your own machine, internet is not required because you have already installed. Okay. Now, this is an installation that you need to do, right? And once you do, this is what you can see in your screen. This is what you can screen. This is somewhere 2022. Okay. So this is my screen. Let me show you how it looks. That's all about the installation. Okay. So I'll show you how it will work. Once you have installed, you can go and search here Anaconda. Okay. The moment you go and search, you will have something called Anaconda Navigator. Just click that navigator. Just click that navigator. It will open like this. Anaconda is opening. After installation, okay. After installation, now this is what you need to have it. Once you install, this is what you need to see. If this screen, if you have seen, that means your installation is complete. Very easy step. I request, see, I'm telling you, end of the batch, you will scold me. 100% you will scold me. Very easy it is to write my Python code. Why this guy is asking to go and install this? Definitely you'll ask me. But the objective is, I know I have to write a code, but I need to see the struggles they are going to get in on premises. It's not easy. 500 MB of file it is. It requires installation. And I'm telling you, your system has to be minimum i5 configuration. So I have some specifications, right? I cannot go and install this in my mobile, right? I need a system. I need a hard disk. I need a RAM. So that's where I can go and install. So this requires an environment. That is my local system, local on premises. Going forward, I'll call my laptop or a system as on premises. On premises is something which I own, my own server. I'm going and installing the software. But in reality, nowadays, everyone is using cloud, right? So this is the first thing which you have to do before writing a single line. Okay. So this is about Anaconda. So I'll be sharing these documents. I don't think you really need this document, but still I'll show you. It's a very, very easy installation. You just need to go and make sure that this is available in your search, Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so choose accordingly. Yours is a Ubuntu machine, or it's a Mac machine, or it's a Windows machine. Choose accordingly. Just go and search Anaconda download, open the Anaconda distribution, select the product, download 500 MB of file, put it in a software folder, double click, next, agree, done. The installation is done, right? Very easy. I would request you to do it right away. Maybe this step may take time. This green color bar, it was going right. It may take time because it has to extract all the libraries. So this may take around 10 minutes. So the installation time may vary from system to system. It may vary from 5 to 10 minutes, but I cannot do it in on the class because it is going to waste our 10 minutes of time. So I'm going to share you this document. This document will be more than enough for you to get installed. Okay. So after this, let's see what we can do now. We have seen this Anaconda, right? And just what I've shown in the document, again, there is a replica here. And once you click the website, you can choose whether you want Windows or you want Mac or Unix. Usually what happens, you have two versions, okay? Python 2.7, Python 3.7. Python 2.7 is an older version. Don't go for it. Lot of libraries will not be supported. Go for Python 3.7. But now it's, I mean, when we took the snapshot, it was 3.7, but now it is 3.9. So take the latest version, and your system is basically designed with a 64-bit or 32-bit. So go with the whichever system yours is. So we choose this, and we also choose Python 3 to install. It's recommended for our course. So most of the libraries it's supporting in 3.7. I'm not saying you cannot work in 2.7, but it lacks certain libraries. So it is preferred to go 3 version. Okay. Now coming on to this, this again a step next. I agree just for me, and go and give the next, and install, and next, skip, finish. So automatically you will be able to get this. Now let's see how this Python is going to work. Initially I've told Python is a high level language, but unfortunately the problem is your high level language is only understandable by humans, not by machines. Machines expect the code to be in low level language, right? So we are good. We are able to understand high level language. But if you see why Python is high level language, because it is user friendly. But in the back end, whatever we are writing, it has to go and work. For that, it has to go and convert into a low level language. We have a Python interpreter, which is nothing but a translator. What it is going to do, it is going to convert our high level language into a low level language so that the code will work. Don't think too much about this because this is not our scope. How it will work, how it will happen and all, no one will ask. No one ever will ask how this Python is working, right? Just for your understanding, I'm saying we do have a Python interpreter, which is basically converting your high level language into low level language so that your code will work. Correct? Now, let's come back to this. Um, Now, Anaconda is installed. Okay. Anaconda is installed. In Anaconda, you may have different editors. Where can I go and write the editor? Correct. For example, we have Spider. Spider is again a IDE. What is IDE? Anyone? Full form of IDE? Yes, it is a development environment. Now, the software is installed. What is a software? Anaconda. What we have to go and write? Python code. Where you can write? You need a place. That place is nothing but development environment. But we have lot of environments. We have something called Spider. We have something called PyCharm. We have something called Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, and we have Qt Console. All these editors, I can go and use it for my Python scripting. That is, to write the logic, I can go and use any of these things. And where is this all available? Where is this editors are all available? When you open your Anaconda prompt, here it is. Spider is available. Spider is available. Qt console is available. Notebook is available. PyCharm is available. Jupyter Lab is available. And this is also available. If you go and read also, you will get to know. And if you see the Spider, right? Scientific Python development environment, powerful Python IDE with advanced editing, interactive testing, debugging. Something we have. Notebook, web-based interactive computing notebook, edit and run, human readable docs will describing the data analysis. This is also good. So like this, all the you have all the environment where you can go and execute the code. Now, I can go and choose anyone to go and run my code. Okay, imagine I will go and launch this. Of course, I don't uh, want to use this, but the name is something which is influencing me to use. So let me go and launch this. So let me go and launch this. Okay. So this is something called Spider, which is getting initialized. It's a your Anaconda is a software. Okay. So inside the software, if I want to go and write some logic, I can go and write it. Now, this is where I can write the code. This is where I can write the code. I will write the first line of code. Welcome to KSR Data Vision. This is the first line of code which I'm executing in my Spider. Okay, I'll go and see what is this, where is run. This is here. Now, it's been a while I opened this. Something is getting started. Let's wait for that. We have a Python 3.9 version and something is getting started. Let's wait for a minute. Meanwhile, what I'll do, I'll open Anaconda and I will go and install another one, which is called Jupyter Notebook. Okay, this also I will launch. This is another editor now. This is another editor. Okay, this is another editor. I'll go to new and I will choose a Python. Now, this is one editor. This is one editor. Okay, it's still getting started. So if I simply go and write welcome to KSR DataVision, automatically it will be printed here. This is a place where I can write the code, and this is a place where I can go and see the output. That is how it is. This is an environment. But now if I want to write here, I will also go and write the same thing. Print welcome to KSR DataVision. And I will go and click this run button. Automatically our output is coming. Now, this is one editor which is called Jupyter Notebook. This is one editor which is called Spider. Okay, which is called Spider. And there are other environments called Orange, PyCharm, VS Code, PowerShell. All these are used for writing your Python code. All these are used for Python code. But in our course, for our scope, we are not going to use Spider. We are not going to use a Spider. Just because of the name, I installed this. I've launched it. You can write your code here as well, right? It's getting started or else it will work. This is one environment where I can go and write my Python code, but I don't want this. There is another one which is called PyCharm. This also I can install. It basically supports for a fully fledged IDE by JetBeans for both scientific and web Python. This is basically used for developing your web application. For web application, use this. But am I going to build a web application? Definitely no. Correct. And Spider also you can use it for your web application. But one thing which I'm going to use will be Jupyter Notebook. It is a web-based interactive computing notebook, edit and run human readable docs, and it is related to data analysis or data engineering or data science, and that is why I am choosing notebook, Jupyter notebook, for my practice. Correct. Now listen carefully. For the entire course, all our Python code will be executed within this Jupyter notebook, and this Jupyter notebook will be like this. Jupyter notebook will be like this. Okay, so you can write the input here and you can run this. Automatically the output will come. For example, a equal to 5, b equal to 6, and c equal to a plus b. Print c. See what I've done? A simple addition. A simple addition. I'm going to print the answer. Such a simple code I have written in my Python, where I've written Anaconda is a software I've installed. On top of that, I have actually used an IDE. An IDE which I'm using is Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Now this is one code. So where I'm writing Jupyter Notebook. Personally, if you ask me, right, I like this tool. There are n number of editors. I'm saying, right, PyCharm is good. Uh, Spider also is good. Jupyter Notebook is also good. But personally, I like this. Of course, for data engineering, this is what we are going to use. But this is my favorite. You know why? You know why? In our school times, we have a ruled book, unruled book, 4-line book, and in during our school time we have a notebook, right? We have a ruled book, unruled book, 4-line book, and then a 2-line book, right? This is exactly like your 2-line book. The way it is readable, anyone can understand, right? So you write an answer, you write a question, you'll get an answer. Similarly to that, see here, see here, I keep on adding this. See, it looks like a ruled book on, I mean 2-line book, 2-line book. It's really good. You go and write something. A equal to 5, b equal to 3, c equal to a into b. Print c. See, I'm getting. It looks very good. It's very neat and clean. Personally, I like this most because it's like a 2-line notebook. I'm very bad at handwriting. Okay, I'm very bad at handwriting. I just scribble it like anything. So initially, what they used to give me a 2-line book where I need to touch the 2 lines and I need to write. Hope you all remember the 2-line book. I think mostly you would have also got to your kids. Yes or no? The 2-line. This is exactly like that. Personally, I like this because it's a very much interactive. I can write the code anywhere. See, first of all, I'll tell you. You want to go to a dance. If you want to learn a dance program, right? I mean, if you want to become a dancer, you want to learn dancing. The first thing is you have to like that place where you're going to learn, right? You have to see the stage, you have to see how the sound effect, you have to first understand, you have to first get used to that environment first. Only then you will get interest to the coding, I mean dancing there. But here for coding, let's like the environment first. That environment is Jupyter Notebook. I can teach you Python anywhere. I can teach you in Spider, I can teach you in PyCharm, I can teach you even in Google, but I am going to help you to learn here from the basics, which is going to be in the Jupyter Notebook. If you practice this, of course, you first start liking the environment, right? This is an environment. This is a place where I can write my code. So if you learn this, or if you are interested with this, automatically your Python also, you can get interest, correct? Now, Whatever I have done so far, I expect each and everyone to go and do it right away today. Please go and install Anaconda and open a Jupyter notebook. And then you have to write the first line. The first line should be like this. Okay. But this is something which I'm doing it in my own software, which is I've installed Anaconda and I'm using this. People who don't want to install this because I don't have laptop, it's my office laptop, or see, first recommendation is I want each and everyone to install it in your machine. I want you to install. That's my first recommendation. For people who says that no, I cannot do it, it's my office laptop, my laptop is i3 configurations, while installing I'm getting certain issues and all, I'm not able to, my system is getting slow, my RAM is only 8 GB RAM, so I'm not able to install. For this set of people, I'll give an alternative solution. I'll give an alternative solution. Go to Google, go to Google, open a Google, okay, search Google Colab, search Google Colab. The moment you search Google Colab, you can go to this Google Colab and you simply go and create a new notebook. You simply go and create a new notebook. And once you create a new notebook, it will load, it will take some time. It is also the same thing like what you have seen here. Here also I can go and write print welcome to KSR DataVision. Okay. And you can just run this. It's going to take some time because this is not your own personal machine, right? It is using from Google. So it will take some time. See, this is an answer. Okay, again, I have to write another code. A equal to 5, B equal to 4, C equal to A plus B, print C, 9. The same thing, what I am writing in Google, I have written in my own software, which is Jupyter Notebook. Undoubtedly, my installed file gives you a better readability. But worst case, there are some people who says that no, I am not able to install, I'm not going to learn. You'll have a number of reasons for not doing. You'll have a number of reasons. That's why I'm giving you a workaround solution. If you're not able to install Anaconda, no problem at all. The reason why I'm forcing you to install is we are not going to learn only Python, right? Our objective is data engineering. For that, you have to know the difference between on premises and cloud. In the later part of the course, we will be jumping completely into the cloud. For knowing the good points about your cloud, you need to understand what is a drawback in your on premises. And that is why I'm forcing you to install. But worst case, you can always go and use this. It's called Google Colab. It uses your RAM online. So you can go and I think you have to register with your Google account, Gmail account. Apart from that, you don't need anything else, right? Either way, you either Jupyter Notebook or use Google Colab. From today onwards, everything is going to be practical classes. Everything is going to be practical classes. We are going to explore end of theory, right? 2 days, I have given you a very strong foundation like why Python. We have seen the installation all done now. Now, no more PPT. Everything is going to be practical. Whenever I'm going to teach from tomorrow, the only screen which will be open on my system will be this one. Nothing else. Only Jupyter Notebook will be open. Whatever the code I'm going to write here. Okay. So this is something which I wanted to tell. Yeah, I think this is a file which is required as a part of an installation. Please do install it, and we will we'll start our main concepts from tomorrow.